I try to temper my expectations because every year there's always a reason to be excited. Obviously last year you looked at Caleb Williams, the number one pick. The year before you thought, okay, maybe Justin Fields is going to take that next step. And every year, it's middle of the road or worse. Yeah, this year, I hate to say it because we say it every year, but this year does feel different. They made all the right moves, and they went out and got the head coaching candidate that everybody wanted, which that is different for Chicago.
The king of the North, the best quarterback in the NFC North, Caleb Williams, is undefeated at Lambeau Field. And in case y'all aren't familiar with my game, let me remind you, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And I am here to tell you that with the 56th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the greatest franchise in the NFL, the Chicago Bears, select Ozzie Trapillo, tackle from Boston College. Let's burn it down and bear down Chicago.
Seth, outstanding.
Boys, I don't think they like me too much in Green Bay. They're not very fond of yours truly. I thought we were going to get along just fine. I go out there in my sparkly blue suit with my orange little flower on and my Bears title. What's not to love, right?
It was awesome. Now, when you do that, are you riffing? Is that something that you went over that you wanted to say? How does that all unfold at the podium?
I had an idea of what I wanted to say. You know what? Shockingly, I get more nervous for something like that. It's a little outside of my comfort zone than I do, main eventing WrestleMania in front of 60,000 people the week before. So I had put some thought and some consideration, and it's one of those things where I don't want to go too far. Like I don't want to spend 5 minutes up there and yawn, but I want to make sure that I get a couple of nice jabs in there and then get to the pick and let the kid have his moment.
I thought there was like a second when you said Green Bay a couple times. I thought a Green Bay sucks chant was going to come out of your mouth. Is that something that you just said going too far?
No, I didn't want to dunk on the town too much. They were a lovely host city. I'm a Midwest boy. I get it. You have a draft in a city like Green Bay. It was quite a spectacle to see that many people converge on such a small sort of Midwestern, regular town. And so I didn't want to dunk on the city. Certainly wanted to dunk on the organization, though.
Seth, not only you're a diehard Bears fan, but you're a very knowledgeable fan. What did you think of the draft the Bears had?
I thought the draft was good, man. I thought, fortunately addressed a lot of the needs on the offensive and defensive line in free agency. So it sort of opened up what they were able to do in the draft. And you saw, some playmakers in early rounds that I don't think I was expecting. And the tight end pick was, I think everybody was looking at Tyler Warren at that point, who was still on the board at the time. So very curious to see, what Ben Johnson, what Ryan Poles, what Kevin Warren, what these guys sort of saw in the Michigan kid that's gonna separate him, you know what I mean? And adding another weapon for Caleb, you got some help on the line. I think I would have liked maybe to draft a running back a little bit earlier, but also maybe there's faith in Swift and Roschon as a dual threat backfield, and maybe we'll add somebody before the season starts. But yeah, I thought that was kind of my only real critique, is I wish we might have added a running back earlier in the draft.
Have you had a chance to talk or meet with Ben Johnson at all?
I have not. I feel like we would get along well, though. I like his swag, man. He's had some interviews that I've been a big fan of. I think he gets it, So I'm excited to see what he does as a head coach and offensive coordinator.
So how do you juggle that, Seth? It's something that I'm a diehard Bears fan. Waddle played for the team, and now he's a huge Bears fan and only wants them to win. We have been here before where we are hopeful. Like, there's nothing more hopeful than an NFL draft. But it hasn't translated into wins. But we have loved, like you said, what we've heard with Ben Johnson. When we met him, it was like talking to someone that has not been here for years as a head coach. How do you juggle your sort of being hopeful with wanting to see it play out on the field?
I think I try to temper my expectations because every year there's always a reason to be excited. Obviously last year you looked at Caleb Williams, the number one pick. The year before you thought, okay, maybe Justin Fields is going to take that next step. I mean, and the story goes on and on and on. And every year, it's middle of the road or worse. At least it has been for quite some time. But yeah, this year, I hate to say it because we say it every year, but this year does feel different. They made all the right moves, and they went out and got the head coaching candidate that everybody wanted, which that is different for Chicago. You look at the head coaching hires, really since Lovie Smith, they haven't been that sexy. And this is the first one where we've gone out, the team has gone out and spent the money to get the guy, the premier play caller that was on the market. And I think that's sort of what feels different this year. So hopefully we can start to put it together in Caleb's second year and win some games. I would love to see the Bears in a playoff spot this season. So I'm gonna, as we get closer to the season, I'm just gonna be all in. I'm just gonna go.
Yes, right.
I'm just gonna light it up because what else? What do I got to lose?
Yeah. Before we let you go, I want to ask you the question of the day. I don't know if you've seen this or where. I don't even know where it first came up, but it's been talked about. It's been floating around social media. I don't know if you've seen the gorilla question, but there's a question out there that if 100 people went up against a gorilla and with no weapons, it would just be, 100 people on one gorilla, who would win? Could the 100 people defeat the gorilla? I think you're about as good as anybody to dissect this.
So my answer, there's a lot of variables that go into play. Not all people are created equal. Are we talking about, 100 trained MMA fighters, or are we talking about 100, video game influencers? These are two different types of people. So, my gut tells me that the gorilla wins this fight because the gorilla has no fear. The gorilla has no fear. He's going to go headstrong into 100 people regardless. And 100 people, doesn't matter who they are. Even if you put me next to 99 other people, I'm not going to feel comfortable being the first person to go get that gorilla, And so I think that's going to be a huge mental advantage for the gorilla. It knows no fear. It will rip limbs off your body quickly. So I'm betting on the gorilla on this one.
See, now what I would do if I'm the coach of this, because Lord knows I'm not fighting, I would have you go in towards the end. We've got to have people initially try and scar the gorilla. You're going to be the finisher. But so then I'll frame it this way. How many Seth Rollins would it take to defeat the gorilla?
Oh, I think maybe 10 of me could get it done.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, I think 10. I'd be willing to go as low as 5, but I think 10 could do it.
Well, that is awesome. Anything big coming up here that we got to put on our radar for you?
We're live on Monday Night Raw every single week. We are here from Kansas City, home of the Super Bowl loser Kansas City Chiefs. Here tonight at the T-Mobile Center. It'll be on Netflix Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, and that is every Monday. I will be here tonight with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, my newest teammates, I guess you would call them, and we're going to have a little chat to the crowd here. We'll see how that goes. And then we got Backlash coming up in a couple weeks. I think it's May 10th in St. Louis. And that's it, man. We're just back in it. We had our off season, which after WrestleMania was all of 20 hours, and so we're back at it every week on Monday, just doing what we do, man. So I appreciate you guys having me on to talk about the draft, and hopefully we can do it more in the future.
Yeah, you're the best. Awesome. We really enjoy talking to you, and all the best, Seth.
Thanks, Seth.
See you guys.
There he is.